Hello, students. Now you may be thinking, didn't we already do a math football homework assignment? Yes, you did. This is the second one you are supposed to do. And honestly, both of the math footballs are in Schoology. So both of them should be turned into Schoology um, as soon as you're done with them. Now, there was quite a bit on here that you were not supposed to do. You didn't have to do this part. You didn't have to do this part. Although this right here is nothing to do, it's just something to read. So you might need to read this. It might help you understand a little bit better about what the assignment was about. And then you have this piece. Now, you didn't have to do the second one. This one wasn't required. And if you open this up in Schoology, this is the only problem you're going to see with the directions. So once again, I am not reading. I am not reading. I will read in the major grades, not reading the daily grades. So please read these directions. Now, you do have a starting position. So the one thing about this assignment is you need to be paying attention to what's going on. Starting position is where you're starting. You need to remember that this assignment was based on number lines. So if you need to, and I would highly suggest that you make yourself a number line. The number line needs to be 15 to the left and 15 to the right. So I will make one just so you can make sure you make yours correctly. Because if you make the number line wrong, you're not going to be able to do this assignment anyway. And then the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. -2. I'm going to count every other line. That way I ain't got to write as many numbers. If you want to write every single number, do that for you. Okay? Nothing wrong with that. I'm just not going to do it because I only want to write half of the amount of numbers I have to. All right, and then I got one more. So, -15. All right, same thing on it. Well, I'm going to go to 16 since of my counting, how I'm counting this. I'll go to -16 so I can really see the last number. So, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So, let's get this started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 15, 16. 12, 14, 16. So I got 16 on this side, 16 on this side. Since this assignment has quite a few problems you can do, I'm going to only do 2 examples. You are required to do the rest. And I'm going to show you how the number line works. Excuse me. So, starting position is exactly as it sounds. It tells you where to start on the number line or what number you need to start thinking about in your head if you want to try to do this mentally. It's not that hard mentally, but once again, it depends on who you are. Step backwards. I told you during class when we did this lesson, we did not do this lesson. Instead of backwards, if you look at this lesson in Schoology, I put steps left because I was thinking of a number line. So instead of step backwards, step left. Steps forward, we're not doing step forward, we're doing steps right. So you're either taking steps to the left or steps to the right. And then we need to figure out where we're ending. So our stopping position once we're done. So I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to do this one. Just to be a special little snowflake. So let's look at the first one. We have 3. Then we went left 4, right 5. All right, let me go down to my number line. So I started at 3. So that's 1, 2, 3. Then I went left 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I went right 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my ending position is at 4. Let me see if I did that right. I started at 3. I went 4 left, 5 right. So yeah, my ending position is 4. Now, you don't really have to put the plus. I don't remember if I put the plus. I don't believe I did because I don't write pluses like that. Because I know if it doesn't have a negative, it's a positive number. So I probably just put it in as 4 in Schoology. So just put in the number without the plus sign. You don't need to tell me it's positive. No negative means it's positive. Now let's look at the other one I said I was going to do as an example. This one we're starting off at -4. So we're doing -4. Then we're going to go 3 to the left and then 7 to the right. All right, so -4. Matter of fact, let me write this down because I need to remember these numbers very well. So -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to go 3 to the left. So 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to go 7 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I ended at 0. So this one, 0. Now, if you don't want to use the number line and you want to use the rules, remember the rules for doing this. All of this is adding. So you're only going to be doing the adding rules. All of this is adding. But remember, in the adding rules, because this is adding integers, so there's some caveats to this. Adding integers. If you don't want to use the number line at all, you can just use the rules. So remember, there are 2 rules. Rule number 1, same sign, add, and keep the sign. So that means if I started off with positive, I should end up with a positive. If I started off with a negative, well, 2 negatives. If I started off by adding 2 negatives, then keep the negative sign because the answer is still going to be negative. The second rule, different signs, let me add the S. Different signs, subtract, and keep the bigger sign. So in the case of this one, if they don't have the same thing, if you're adding a positive and a negative together, well, you're going to subtract them instead because you can't combine those 2 things together. They don't match. They don't even mix well. So subtract them, and then whichever one you had more of, you're going to keep that bigger sign. For example, if I had, let's say I had -8 plus 2, okay? I have a negative and a positive that I am trying to add together. This is not possible. You cannot do it. But what you can do, since they are different, you can subtract the 2. Well, everyone should know what 8 minus 2 is. It's 6. But there is an extra step. After I subtract, I have to keep the sign of the bigger number. So in the case of 8 and 2, 8 is bigger, but 8 is also negative. So that means my answer would be a -6. Now, this would be the reverse. It would be +6 if 8 was bigger and positive instead of negative, and the 2 was negative instead of positive. So if you switch this, you will get a different answer. Well, if you switch the signs of these numbers, you will get a different answer because you would still have to subtract because one is still going to be negative and one's positive. But the bigger sign is going to be a positive if they're switched than it being negative. All right. I hope this information helps you understand how to do this assignment. In my opinion, it would just be best to do the number line because it's like quick and easy to just skip count. Well, not skip count, but to be counting around and on the number line. But like I said, if you don't want to do all that, just do this and you will get to the same answers. So I hope this helps. If not, let me know and I'll see what I can do. Bye.